An enclave is any portion of a state that is entirely surrounded by the territory of a single other state. An exclave is a portion of a state geographically separated from the main part by surrounding alien territory. Many exclaves are also enclaves. Enclave is sometimes used improperly to denote a territory that is only partly surrounded by another state. Examples of enclaved countries include San Marino and Lesotho. Examples of exclaves include Nakhchivan and Campione d'Italia. Campione d'Italia is also an enclave. A pane enclave is any portion of a state that has land borders with a single other state but is not completely surrounded by it or that state's territorial waters. A pane exclave is a portion of a state that is geographically separated from the main part by land borders with alien territory but is not completely surrounded by it or alien territorial waters. Examples of pane enclaved countries include Portugal and Canada. Examples of pane exclaves include French Guiana, the Kaliningrad Oblast, and Alaska. Alaska is also a pane enclave. An inaccessible district, as used here, is a portion of a state not completely separated from the main part by alien territory, but that can only be reached easily by passing through alien territory. Origin and usage. The word enclave is French and first appeared in the mid-15th century as a derivative of the verb enclaver, from the colloquial Latin enclavere. Originally, it was a term of property law that denoted the situation of a land or parcel of land surrounded by land owned by a different owner, and that could not be reached for its exploitation in a practical and sufficient manner without crossing the surrounding land. In law, this created a servitude of passage for the benefit of the owner of the surrounded land. Later, the term enclave began to be used also to refer to parcels of countries, counties, fiefs, communes, towns, parishes, etc., that were surrounded by alien territory. This French word eventually entered the English and other languages to denote the same concept, although local terms have continued to be used. In India, the word pocket is often used as a synonym for enclave. In British administrative history, subnational enclaves were usually called detachments or detached parts, and national enclaves as detached districts or detached dominions. In English ecclesiastic history, subnational enclaves were known as peculiars. The word exclave, modelled on enclave, is a logical extension of the concept of enclave. Characteristics. Enclaves exist for a variety of historical, political and geographical reasons. For example, in the feudal system in Europe, the ownership of feudal domains was often transferred or partitioned, either through purchase and sale or through inheritance, and often such domains were or came to be surrounded by other domains. In particular, this state of affairs persisted into the 19th century in the Holy Roman Empire, and these domains exhibited many of the characteristics of sovereign states. Residing in an enclave within another country has often involved difficulties in such areas as passage rights, importing goods, currency, provision of utilities and health services, and host nation cooperation. Thus, over time enclaves have tended to be eliminated. For example, 2/3 of the then existing national-level enclaves were extinguished on August 1, 2015, when the governments of India and Bangladesh implemented a land boundary agreement that exchanged 162 first-order enclaves. This exchange thus effectively de-enclaved another 24 second-order enclaves and one third-order enclave, eliminating 197 of the Indo-Bangladesh enclaves in all. The residents in these enclaves had complained of being effectively stateless. Only Bangladesh's Dahagram-Angapota enclave remained. Enclave versus exclave. For illustration, in the figure, A1 is a pane enclave. Although A2 is an exclave of A, it cannot be classed as an enclave because it shares borders with B and C. The territory A3 is both an exclave of A and an enclave from the viewpoint of B. In the figure above, A3 is both an enclave and an exclave. A2 is an exclave of A, but it is not an enclave because it borders both B and C. The singular territory D, although an enclave, is not an exclave. True enclaves. A true enclave is a territory over which a nation is sovereign, but which cannot be reached without passing through territory of the single foreign nation that surrounds it. Two examples are Bisingen, a true enclave of Germany, and Campione d'Italia, a true enclave of Italy, both surrounded by Switzerland. A historical example was West Berlin before the reunification of Germany, which was a de facto West German enclave being enclaved by East Germany. All of Berlin was ruled de jure by the four Allied powers. However, the East German government and the Soviet Union treated East Berlin as an integral part of East Germany. Most of the true national-level enclaves now existing are in Asia and Europe. While subnational enclaves are numerous the world over, there are only a few national-level enclaves in Africa, Australia and the Americas. Enclaved countries. Three nations are completely surrounded by another country. The Republic of San Marino, enclaved within Italy. Vatican City, enclaved within the city of Rome, Italy. The Kingdom of Lesotho, enclaved within South Africa. The Principality of Monaco is not an enclave, although it only borders France, because it possesses a coastline and territorial waters. For the same reason, the Gambia is also not an enclave. Historically, four of the black homelands or Bantustans of South Africa were granted nominal independence, unrecognized internationally, by the nationalist government from 1976 until their reabsorption in 1994. Others remained under government rule from 1948 to 1994. Being heavily partitioned, various parts of these Bantustans were true enclaves. The United States' constitutional principle of tribal sovereignty treats federally recognized Indian reservations as quasi-independent enclaves. Temporary enclaves. The Scottish court in the Netherlands, at Kamp Zeist near Utrecht, was temporarily declared as sovereign territory of the United Kingdom under Scots law for the duration of the trial of those accused in the Lockerbie bombing, and was therefore an exclave of the United Kingdom, and of Scotland, and an enclave within the Netherlands. This was also so during the appeal against the conviction. The court was first convened in 1999, and the land returned to the Netherlands in 2002. True exclaves. Nakhchivan, which borders Turkey, Armenia and Iran, is an exclave of Azerbaijan. In the United Arab Emirates, 4 emirates have 5 true exclaves: Dubai, Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah, and Sharjah. Libya is an exclave of Spain surrounded by France. Campione d'Italia is an exclave of Italy surrounded by Switzerland. Bisingen am Hochrhein is an exclave of Germany surrounded by Switzerland. The shortest distance from Bisingen's borders to the main portion of German territory is only about 700 meters.